Maybe I'll just put a disclaimer in the beginning that says I have COVID, so bear with me. What is up, my buddy old pals? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Liv, and this is going to be a mood rating vlog. What's up, buddy old pals? Crazy intro, but we're going to keep it. It has been a hectic year, my guys, okay? I have had a lot going on. I finally just started reading again. I just finished my reading the shortest books on my TBR vlog, and I am just in the mood to pick up whatever I want and to read whatever I feel like. I don't want a TBR. I just want endless choices to choose from. So that's what we're gonna do. I have really absolutely no plans for this video. I probably have a couple 2025 releases that I would love to get to, but also just some stuff that's sitting on my TBR and I feel like it's calling to me. But I am going to be starting with Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker. I have just been wanting to get to this since I got it, but I was in such a life rut that it hasn't happened yet. So I am going to pick this up today. It has been absolutely downpouring all day, which I love, don't get me wrong. Had to go to work, hated that I was not at home with a hot beverage and reading a book. But it does seem like there was a little break before the thunderstorms start again. So I am going to go take the dog for a WALK. He's right there, don't tell him yet, he'll get too excited. Then I'm going to make a gigantic tea and I'm gonna sit down and hop into this bad boy. And I am lying to you a little because I have already read the first chapter, so I have already hopped in a little this morning. I'm enjoying it so far. The first chapter is basically what everybody already knows about this book, which is our main character sees her sister murdered in the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, and a man yells "Bat Eater" and shoves her sister in front of a train. And now she is going to be, I believe, cleaning up crime scenes. And it seems like there's going to be a lot of either murders or suicides in Chinatown in New York City. And they all seem to be East Asian people. And I believe there's like bats at all of the scenes. And that's kind of really all I know about this book. I am super excited to hop into it. I think it's going to be gory and gross and obviously filled with a lot of social commentary, which I love in my books. So yeah, I am gonna go hop into this and I will update you maybe around like 50, 75 pages. I just really want to like sink my teeth into it and really start reading again. So I'm excited and I will see you soon. Pages into Bat Eater. I just finished chapter 6. I am thoroughly enjoying this so far. I do really like the writing. I will say the crime scenes are very quite descriptive, so just keep that in mind. But I think once you finish the first chapter of this book, you know really what you're in for. But after the first chapter, which takes place in April of 2020, the next chapter starts in August. So it's been, I think, 6 months. April, May, June, July, August. 4 months. I lied. I can do math. I can do easy math. So we have a 4-month time jump since our main character's sister has been brutally murdered. There's a lot of like unreliable narrator stuff that we have happening so far. There's just like Cora goes to get an apple out of the fridge and she could have sworn there was two, but now there's one. And just like a lot of things in her apartment, like she just got home and what I just finished, and part of her couch is torn and she can swear that it wasn't like that, like when she left that morning. And she just kind of keeps referencing how like she kind of tore her mind apart to pull Delilah out like after Delilah passed away. So I think maybe there's some mental health stuff also going on, which makes sense if you see the one person you love the most in the world get decapitated by a train. I also got to the first part of like, well, I guess not the first part because obviously her sister's murder was one, but like of just like a human treating Cora with absolute outright hatred just because she is Asian in America during a pandemic. And I was like almost in tears, like that more than the crime scene things, where it was just so disgusting for me to read. And there's a scene where she is going to church. Her father is Chinese and her mother was white, and so she goes to her aunt's church and her aunt like helps her pay some of her bills, but she thinks if she doesn't go to church her aunt isn't going to help her. And then but there's just this part that I love so much. Cora asks once why fear is a sin. Auntie Lois said that it shows distrust in God and that one should not fear men and only fear God, which also like crazy thing to say to someone after seeing a man murder someone. But Auntie Lois lives in Staten Island on a quiet street where cops had nothing to do but stop teens from making out in cars. She may think that she's met fear when walking alone in a parking lot at night or when a car swerves too close to her on the highway. But Cora knows that the face of fear is not an abstract what if. Fear is born in the after, when the world peels back its skin and shows you its raw, pulsing innards, when it forces you to remember its name. Anyone who has seen the face of fear knows you should damn well be afraid. Oh, it's just, I really enjoy the writing. I'm highlighting a lot of stuff. I am going to take a little bit of a break. I only have to read like 15 more pages to like hit my page goal of the day. Like not an everyday page goal, but if I want to finish this book before the end of the month, it is the 29th of August. I just have to read 99 pages a day. That being said, it is 7 o'clock and I would like to eat dinner without being nauseous. So I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to watch the newest episode of Cloudward Ho so I can send all of my theories to my friend back home. And then I'll probably just read a little more before bed later tonight. First of all, I apologize in advance for how bad the lighting is. Maybe it's not that bad, but I woke up at like 2 a.m. last night with just the worst migraine that I have barely been able to shake. I have just been popping migraine meds and nausea meds like candy all day, but I have been able to get some reading done. I am now on page 164 of Bat Eater. This is really not going in any direction I thought it was going to. I say that as someone who really doesn't read synopses that much, but I guess maybe the mystery like isn't really fully what I thought the mystery was going to be, or there's like a second mystery going on in this book. That being said, I am still really enjoying it. I keep dog-earing pages with quotes that I love just so much. I will say until probably about a chapter ago, I just finished chapter 13. So I think maybe in chapter 12, that is the first time Cora really talks to like her new coworkers and like her new friends about what happened to her sister and what she saw. And like the way she ends up telling them is not an ideal situation. And I was sobbing, which weirdly helped with the migraine a little. I don't know if it helped relieve some pressure or if it's just that I've been very, very slowly sipping on some caffeine to try to revive myself. But our main characters are now, I think there's 2 ongoing mysteries that we're trying to solve, and they did just find a piece for one tucked away at a crime scene that they were apparently not supposed to be at yet. Like, the police don't think that they called them, but they got a call to come and the crime scene wasn't fully processed. So I'm really intrigued to see where that little tidbit goes too. But I didn't want to let the migraine win. I wanted to give you at least a little bit of an update. I think I have around 130-ish pages left, and I still have about an hour before the bean needs to go for his last WALK of the evening. So I think I'm just gonna keep reading because screens are, no, I have like the audiobook in very, very low to the point where like I can almost not hear the narrator, but it is helping me focus. I'm hoping I can finish this tomorrow morning if I'm feeling better. I will say I am useless when I'm sick. Last night I've only finished the first half of Nat from Nerdy Nat Reads her full moon readathon video, and she was sick and she just like popped back in like a day and a half later, and she's like, I read these 7 books. I think maybe it was 5, I can't remember, but I'm like, girl, you're so much more productive than me when you be sick, because I'm unfunctioning. My brain can't focus on anything, so, which is also why I'm trying to lightly do the audiobook. I had such a different vision of how much I was gonna read this morning before work, and I was up between like 2:30 and 5:30. I also had this crazy dream before I woke up with the migraine about all of my teeth falling out, which the internet says can be anything from bad luck. We were Googling this at work today. Bad changes in life, which your girl's been through that, but then also leading into rebirth. But then also freaking Freud thinks it means I'm worried about castration and losing my masculinity. And then there was also one that said impending death that I just thought was funny. Okay, I don't know why I updated you on that. Although I guess maybe also I'm just reading this weird, creepy book, so a dream where my teeth were disintegrating in my mouth isn't that weird. Okay. Sorry to drop that on you. See you tomorrow. Come with me to figure out how paranoid I am. In the last hour, it's the same night. Also, I didn't buy a dresser because I'm only living here for a few months, so ignore my radiator pants. They have to live somewhere. And if you see the duffel bags, sorry. Am I in focus? Okay, anywhoomst. In the last hour, we're locked in. My whole body feels like I've been hit by a truck. And there's 2 times in my life where I've woken up at like 2:30 or 4:30 in the morning feeling like I've gotten hit by a truck with a massive migraine. And that is when I had COVID. And I'm like, am I just paranoid? Obviously, because I am reading a COVID horror book, and it's quite possibly. But honestly, the way my body feels has very rarely a time. So I figured I should probably check just for safety, but I didn't bring any COVID tests with me when I moved. And also, I cannot for the life of me find the masks. And so when I was walking Navy, I found a CVS that's open on Uber Eats, and they closed in like 20 minutes. Now they close in 8, but my guy, Jay, he has my COVID text, and actually I need to text him. Okay, hopefully he gets it. So yeah, instead of going to bed, we're gonna take a COVID test, because honestly I would rather tell my coworkers from today. Now, I can feel it in my voice, like I feel like I have to keep trying to raise it an octave to talk to you normally. I'm not just gonna yap at you until this guy gets here. That would be crazy. I need to put this down. I'll update you. I'm probably being paranoid, but maybe I'm not, and we'll find out. I wonder if this light right here is what is making me look ghostly pale, or if I'm just sick. COVID test on Fox. I paid extra for this one. I feel like the camera's trying to focus on my bookshelf and not me, and I find that rude. This is what I've always used, so I don't even need to read the instructions. And there's 4. Oh, I have to wash my hands. You don't need to see this anyways. That's not for you. I'll see you in like 10 minutes, 2 seconds. That's 10 minutes me, 2 seconds you, if you didn't keep up with the ADHD unfiltered brain. Not 10 minutes and 2 seconds. Okay, thanks for clearing that up. It's actually 15 minutes. We're still waiting. I'm just yapping. I think it's fun to do this in this vlog. I feel like I have not articulated that reasoning yet. And that is that in Bat Eater, Cora already pre-pandemic doesn't like dirty things and is washing her hands a lot. And so obviously during a pandemic, that's worse. So she's talking about it a lot. And there's just like a lot of like paranoia around germs, even though like it's not like a crazy paranoia except in some situations. But I just kind of like, maybe I don't have it. Maybe I do have it, because I feel like maybe I do. But then also, like, if I don't, like, Kylie Ridley Baker, girl, you really did that thing, because I got in her head. I got in Miss Cora's head, right? So I am intrigued to see the results. Either way, I feel like shit. But I will actually come back with our results soon. Oh my god, I almost didn't get it on in time. Hey, turn off. Don't resume. I'm pissed. I don't have any sick time left. I'm using Bat Eater to cover it. No. I'm out of sick time. How do people do this? My hand shake, sorry. And I'm out of focus. Oh my god. Do you know what's even crazier? This means I had COVID yesterday when I started this. And I'm pretty sure I was like, it's calling to me. I feel like it's calling to me. I'm so cooked. Oh my god. I had to text my coworkers. I knew. The second my body started aching and I started shivering in that thick ass hoodie. I'm so warm right now, but I also just remembered I don't have a bra on and I'd just be lounging. Okay, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I cannot believe that this is real life. We'll survive. We will survive. Oh my god. I'll see you tomorrow when I finish this freaking COVID book. Oh my god. I left this filming. Did I even end the clip? Surviving one day into COVID. So oh my god, this lighting in this apartment is so not great, but we're rolling with it. I finished Bat Eater earlier and I did update like immediately after finishing it. I just don't know how coherent I was, so we are gonna redo it. I ended up giving this 4 stars. I really loved this. I thought the writing was really poetic and I really loved just like the way Kylie Lee Baker was writing the gore. So good. A little nauseating at times, but really, really good. I also loved following Cora as like, she would kind of just like make all of these comments about not being able to trust her mind. So you were completely unable to trust her, and I really enjoyed having that style of unreliable narrator in this. I just love any sort of like social commentary in my horror books. So having this being focused in 2020 during COVID on the murder of East Asian women and just like the rise in hate crimes against the entire Asian community as a whole, I was obviously just down for, that was the biggest reason I picked up this book. And then also, the entire time, Cora is dealing with kind of like a crisis of faith and like what faith she wants to believe in and if she believes in anything. And I also really enjoy that in a story. So this is 4 stars. I laughed, I cried, I had a great time. I also couldn't predict a single way that was gonna go. Like, was just shocked at every turn a little because I didn't know a single like I couldn't have predicted a single direction. And I know that I don't really read synopses, so I went back after I finished and read, and I was like, maybe I would have understood a little more going in, but really I probably still would not have guessed anything. I have the sniffles. Editing Olivia's gonna hate that. And then I walked Navy, which destroyed me, and we're gonna have to go do that again in like 30 minutes, but then I can go to bed, so God bless. I keep thinking this is the easiest like COVID you've ever had. Like, this is so chill. And then I go do something physical for like less than 2 seconds and I want to die and I can't breathe. So, but when I'm laying down, I think because I don't really have any brain fog currently, and usually like I'm so unfunctioning when I have COVID. But anyways, next I picked up the next 4 volumes of Saga. 3.5 really, because I was like halfway through volume 9. But I was like, if I can finish this series before the end of the month, it is in fact August 31st, and it is 9:30 p.m. But I didn't. I would say, honestly, until I read these 4 volumes, that this was like a 4.5, 5-star series for me. I hadn't rated a single one of these under 4 stars. There were 4 or 5. And then the way 9 ends makes sense for the story. I'm just like trying to get back into the groove, or just into the groove of the new part of the story. There are plenty of time jumps throughout all 12 of these, so I'm sure I will get back on track. But I say I don't have brain fog, and then like I don't know how I was just gonna finish that last sentence. I also meant to talk about what a trip having COVID while reading this, because I hit everyone up today and was like, am I allowed to touch my library books? And they all had to be like, Olivia, remember like years ago, you know, the CDC and everyone was like, COVID is not really by touch because it's respiratory, like you can touch your library books. But I just like being thrown back into the paranoia of 2020 was absolutely crazy. And then so I was like sitting in my apartment and I was like, just existing, I'm gonna get everybody sick. By just existing in my own home, I'm gonna make everybody sick. I honestly though, I think it like added to the experience. There's also a part where all of our coworkers, because they're the only people they see all the time, they all get COVID, and just like reading through all of their like symptoms and their 10-day quarantine and everything that their bodies are going through, like pre-vaccination, also like being exposed before. I'm sure it's much more mild because my body has handled this many a time. Damn, it was really good to get into. This is a really long clip now, so I'm gonna go and drink some more water because I haven't done that yet. I don't know what I'm gonna pick up tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know what I want to read. I'm looking at everything right now. I will make that decision and tell you tomorrow, because now, after saying I was gonna end the long clip, I added a whole nother minute to it. Ooh, besties, I fear we are choosing violence today. But first, let's talk about what book I picked up next. So last night, I read, like, the first page of, like, all of these books. Because for me, I was, like, logically the vegetarian. I just got the audiobook. But I read the first page, and I just know it's a man that's gonna piss me off. So I was like, maybe not right now. And I completely pivoted this morning, and I picked up We Used to Live Here. That being said, I take back anything I said yesterday about this being the chillest COVID I had, or me not having a fever, because I had a fever all night. I was disgusting. I was not having a good time. So I didn't get to reading until later today. So I am only on page 86 of this, but I am having so much fun. Oh my god. Also, the audiobook narrator said his last name is pronounced Cleaver. Like, a meat cleaver, but it's spelled with a W, which I think is interesting because I'm always trying to be like cleaver or something and I really don't know. So cleaver, now I know. This is so fun. This general synopsis is these two women, lovers if you will, are living in this home that they're just like flipping it and then gonna sell. And one day, while one of them is out in town and the more pushover of the couple is home, this family shows up on the doorstep and is like, the dad's like, I used to live here and I just want to like show my family around. And at first she's like, no, but then she's a pushover, so she's like, fine, like 15 minutes, whatever, come on in. And then during this 15 minutes, one of the small children just goes missing, and then it goes off the rails from there. I think I'm slowly getting to the we about to be off the rails part. And I remember everyone who read this saying this. There are documents in between, but at the end of everyone, let me kind of find one that I haven't written on. But at the end of everyone, I don't know if this page is a spoiler because I haven't gotten there yet, there's Morse code. And I'm not showing you the pages I've read because I'm filling out the Morse code on the page. I'm writing in my books. I don't care. They're mine. I spent my money on them. So I'm having like a little puzzle in the book, and like in the audiobook, like it's playing the Morse code, which is also so fun. And just like a little extra creepy factor, which I am really enjoying. Like, I'm gonna go back to reading because I crazily, stupidly, in Jan's, whenever I say I'm on Discord, it is Jan Agaton's Patreon Discord. I hope you know. Usually I hate Discords. They're just like way too overwhelming, but I love this one, and it's so easy for me to chat with everyone. I don't ever feel anxious. I do feel anxious sometimes. Sometimes I send a message and I'm like, everybody hates me for no reason at all. But Jan said, anyone want to join me in attempting 30 books in 30 days? And I said, I doubt I could, but since I'm behind on my reading goal, I'll try. I think the most I've ever read in a month is 17 books, so I doubt it's gonna happen. But I would have liked to start off strong. I am now regretting finishing Saga last night. This is yet again another 7-minute clip because I guess sick Olivia loves to ramble. So I'm gonna go read and stay tuned for whether or not Tom comes to fix my fucking stove. Okay, hopefully the tripod will stay propped up on my couch like this. I am eating this up. Are you kidding me? I feel like I'm playing a game of Clue. I feel like I'm solving a puzzle. I'm having a great time. Also, I just found more Morse code at the bottom of the map in the beginning. There was one that I missed, so I can show you that because it's just so like that can't be a spoiler, and neither can the map. It's the first thing you see. But also the map has like this random weird code of hieroglyphics. My battery's gonna die. Let's see if this lasts. But only M, N, O, P, and Q. But where I just got to in the book, in one of these random documents, there are some of those, but the only letter that I know in it is N and M, so I don't know. But oh my god, also this last document is the longest one. Okay, these die so fast. I swear I've only filmed like 2 clips with that. And then there's a bunch of other random hieroglyphs that aren't like in there. But then also I'm like writing all in the margins now because there's something that like maybe just came up a couple pages before in this little thing, and this is like rules to this weird house, but it's not her house. I don't really know. It is, I don't know. I'm like, is this house like the entrance or exit to like a labyrinth? What is happening? But I am eating it up. Oh my god, I'm on page 155 now. So I'm over halfway through. What time is it? I can't go to bed until I solve this. I worked the case, Daddy.
The case, Daddy, just like you said.
Aww. That's how I feel. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I have to keep reading, but I just wanted to give you a little update that this is crazy and this is such a fun time. And I knew everyone said it was, like, there was Morse code, but, like, I feel like Marcus Cleaver has hired me as a detective. And I'm on the case.
We're solving this.
So I'm probably gonna go finish this. I can't go to bed. What do you mean? What do you mean? How much longer do I have in the audiobook? Because little man here has to go on a WALK in about 2.5 hours. Oh, and I have 2 hours and 3 minutes left. Let's go, baby. It's not like I'm eating, so we don't have to stop for dinner. It's not good, but I'm not hungry. I finished. I did it. I finished exactly at 10 p.m. I want you to know. Which I would have finished sooner, but Marcus freaking Cleaver had me in my COVID fever haze translating Norwegian to try to solve this mystery. I'm gonna give this 5 stars. Did I already say that? I was thinking maybe 4.5, and then it ends with like one of the documents, and I was like, okay, I'm fully back in, baby, let's go. So 5 freaking stars. I can't tell you much more. Like, I don't even want to tell you all of the little bits and baubles that I loved about it, because I want you to discover for yourselves. But this is going to be 5 stars. I have already given you quite a long update today, so I think this is really all that you need. You just need to know that I loved it. I was freaking Sherlock Holmes, okay? Scribbling away. Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, I guess so. We can be Sherlock Holmes. But I ate it up. But I'm gonna go because I put on this sweatshirt and someone's internal clock is ticking. He knows what's up. He knows where we're going. Rude. I don't know what I want to read tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe, well, here's the thing. My book of the month box might come tomorrow. This is like the one box I've gotten this year, and I finally got something that I wanted this month, and I used up the rest of my credits so I can cancel. But I am reading one of the books that I'm getting for a buddy read. So if that comes tomorrow, I might pick that up. And if that does not come tomorrow, I'm thinking maybe Blob or Immaculate Conception or Private Rights. So really, I'm not thinking much of anything, and tomorrow Olivia will decide. I'm gonna go walk the bean before he decides to boycott me. And thank you again for coming along on this fever-induced vlog. Okay, my book of the month box came, so it's time to open my next book. Which also, crazy, I woke up this morning to an email from Book of the Month saying, your package has been delayed, and it'll be here on the 8th. It's the 2nd. And then like 30 minutes later, I got an email that said, your package has been delivered. Don't look at my address, you freaks. This is my final Book of the Month box. I have been waiting for a month that has a book I'm interested in, so I could use the last of my credits to get some books and cancel. I don't even remember what random books I added off of like my TBR on that website. I also hate why'd they put my address on the part I want to open. That's rude. There's the book. So what I want to start today is Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. This is the bloody read for Jan Agaton's Patreon, and I think I've only ever participated in like one other of those because I never read anything on time. So I'm stuck home with COVID and it's here, so I'm gonna read it. It's a mood reading vlog. I can do what I want. So what else did I get? Oh, I remember this. I got My Friends by Frederick Bachman because I loved Anxious People, but otherwise I've just been collecting his books and I haven't read a single thing other than Anxious People. I don't really know what this is about. I'll find out eventually. And then I got What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall because I read last year No One Could Know and I absolutely hated it. So this is like my last ditch attempt with Kate Alice Marshall. This I think is the book that everybody loves by her. So I figured why not try it? And then lastly I got Pure Nessie because I've always wanted to read this and I've still never picked it up. So I figured now was the time. And now I can go cancel my Book of the Month subscription. I just this is the first time this year where I've had a book I was interested in really come out, and I just think Aardvark has better genre fiction, and that's more what I'm interested in. So why continue to waste the money if I'm not using it? You know what I mean? Okay, this, I don't actually know what it's about, except it's a haunted house. I absolutely loved Such Sharp Teeth, but I absolutely hated So Thirsty. So I am really intrigued to see where Play Nice falls for me. I don't think I've read a lot of haunted house books. I obviously just read We Used to Live Here Last Night. But other than that, I don't think I have a lot under my belt. The only other one I can immediately think of off of my head is The House at the Bottom of the Lake by Josh Malerman, which isn't really a haunted house story. Oh, I've read The Spite House, which I gave 3.5 stars. So let's read the first paragraph of the synopsis. It's just been waiting for you to come home. Cleo Louise Barnes leads a picture-perfect life as a stylist and influencer, oh god. But beneath the glossy veneer, she harbors a not-so-glamorous secret. She grew up in a haunted house. Well, not haunted, possessed. After Cleo's parents' messy divorce, her mother, Alex, moved Cleo and her sisters into a house occupied by a demon. Or so Alex claimed. That's not what Cleo's sisters remember or what the courts determined when they stripped her of custody after it all went off the deep end. But Alex was insistent. She even wrote a book about her experience in the house. Okay, so that sounds like literally every single haunted house story ever. Mom and dad swear, or the kids swear, and then someone wrote a book about it years later. But I am intrigued. And I'm going to see where it falls on my Rachel Harrison scale. If it's another win, if it's another L, if it's right in the middle. Stay tuned. I have some chicken tendies in the oven because that's now the blandest thing that I own. I ate my final English muffin yesterday, and that's all I ate yesterday, which is so not good. I was gonna maybe film my August wrap-up today, but I don't think I'm fully ready to talk that long, coherently. See previous sentence, for example. So hopefully tomorrow, but I don't think I have it in me to sit down and discuss 19 things. So I am gonna go read like the first chapter of this. I'm also in the middle of Kayla's new sleuthing video of trying to guess all of the authors in an anthology, all their stories, which is so fun. I'm gonna watch some of that, and I'm gonna try to make myself eat some chicken tendies, and I'll update you in a bit.
Brother, you're allergic to chicken. Do you remember that? You're allergic to poultry. Yeah, you are. That's why you have $70 food.
Okay, update time. I'm probably 40-ish% of the way through, not a full 50. I'm on page 136, and I'm literally in the middle of chapter 17 currently. I am enjoying it so far. I didn't say this earlier, but I do always enjoy Rachel Harrison's writing, like even when I'm giving it 2 stars. Like I was highlighting a bunch of stuff in this book as well. So I do enjoy her writing. I will say the main character does annoy me a bit, but I will say also probably, despite the fact that I loved this, the character probably gave me quite a few like eye roll moments as well. So I do think that's maybe a consistent thing in Rachel Harrison's books for me. Yeah, our main character is just like a freaking goof, I guess. She is the only one of her 2 sisters. She is the youngest, so she remembers the least about their time in this house. So when their mother dies in the beginning, she is the only one who wants to attend the funeral, and the rest of the family is like, okay, well, we're not going. So she gets the key to this house. Nobody else wants anything to do with it. And our main character, Cleo, I was like, wow, I can't remember her name, I've been reading this book all day, is literally like, wow, this girl who I went to high school with, she did like a house makeover like content on her channel, and she gained like 35,000 followers. So I think I could flip this house and make some good content. And that's like basically her reason for wanting to be there. She is now getting a little more motivated by, it's not that she wants proof that the house is haunted. She wants proof like whether or not her mother was cuckoo bonkers or not, which like fair enough. It does have sections of her mother's book, which I am enjoying, because like don't we all love a book in a book? And then I will say her mother's annotations in the book, it's like they're specifically for Cleo. I hate them. Like she'll be in a scene and be like, I drank my water, and she's like, I had a bottle of wine. Like the annotation is like, I drank a bottle of wine. I know I was drinking a lot. I was like, girl, what? These are not the confessions that your daughter needs, not the closure we need. I don't really know where it's gonna go. I do think if at the end it's just they had a drunk mom, I'm gonna be so pissed. But I am enjoying myself. I will say, this is the first book since I got COVID that I haven't had an audiobook with, and I am definitely reading slower than usual. It's a lot. I'm struggling a bit. And it's nothing to do with the book. It's just my mild brain fog. Because I've been reading like all day, I don't know, for like 5 hours or something, and I'm only 130 pages in. But I will update you either maybe when I finish, or maybe if like my opinions start changing, if I feel like we're getting into something juicy. As of right now, nothing too major has happened yet, so I don't have any major predictions. I am interested to see where we're gonna take this haunted house story. But if the house is actually haunted, I would love to actually fully dive into the haunting at some point soon. Time for the bean to get his exercise in. I'll chat with you later. I finished. She did it. 4 stars, baby. Oh my god. Can you tell that I've been cooped up in this house for days? I'm getting hyper, which is bad because it's 9:50 p.m. I ended up eating this up. I did. Yes, I did. Plenty of the characters annoyed me, I will say. I will say probably the last 50 pages kind of healed that all for me. All of them just kind of like, well, I'm not going to tell you. Let's just say they had a real honest conversation about their childhood together. I will say probably for most of this book, I was like, it'll be like 3.5 stars. And then again, the last 50 pages, I ate it up. I did. I really enjoyed the overarching theme, metaphor of the demon, if you will, in this. Oh, chef's kiss. I loved her. I don't really think I can tell you anything else about the plot that I haven't already. That wouldn't be a spoiler. But our Rachel Harrison rankings are as such. We have Such Sharp Teeth, 5 stars. I should get her in hardcover, but this one's already annotated. I've got Play Nice, 4 stars. Very enjoyable, very fun time. Very bingeable for a day read. And So Thirsty, 2 stars. Just truly was not for me. Okay, now I have to pick something else to read tomorrow. Tomorrow, my final day of quarantine before I return to work, unless for some reason my fever comes back. I will obviously be masked. Well, you know what's crazy is I'm like, what if I pick up the Buffalo Hunter? I had a different idea for a vlog for that one, but that vlog, I was thinking of having like 5 or 6 books, and I think maybe it would be better for me mentally as a 3-book vlog. I was just gonna read a bunch of Stephen Graham Jones books. That was all I was gonna do. It's not some big secret. And I have plenty of his books. And I figure if I read the Buffalo Hunter now, I can read The Killer on the Road, Babysitter Lives as another new release in that vlog. So I can do this one now. Mostly because with the little bit of brain fog, she says, brain fog I do have left. Reading this with just my eyeballs all day was a lot, and I have had the audiobook for Buffalo Hunter since it came out, so I might as well jump into that, I think. Ooh, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm gonna love it. I will see you tomorrow. Once again, humbly sitting before you with slightly wet hair. Yesterday, not a good day, my dudes, okay? We skipped all of yesterday. You didn't need to see me. I did try to update. It didn't go well. I feel like in the last clip, I was so optimistic. I was like, I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. I'm gonna do a before bed routine. Everything's gonna be great. I didn't fall asleep until after 5 a.m. And then I woke up at like 9 and I couldn't go back to sleep. I tried to nap. I maybe got like a 30-minute nap in. Terrible time. When I was about 70 pages into the Buffalo Hunter yesterday, I did try to update, and I was just incoherent. It was like I was adding random letters into the most basic words. I could not speak to save my life, and y'all don't need to see that. But I haven't read anything else today. I did read a little more last night, so I am 120 pages into the Buffalo Hunter. So let's talk about it, baby. First of all, if you don't know what this book is, I remember when it was coming out, everyone was hailing it as like the modern day vampire classic, which love that for Mr. Stephen Graham Jones. He's my favorite author. As much as I don't like a synopsis, this synopsis is very short and doesn't really give much, so I am just gonna read it to you. This chilling historical novel is set in the nascent days of the state of Montana, following a Blackfeet Indian named Goodstab as he haunts the fields of the Blackfeet Nation looking for justice. It begins when a diary written in 1912 by a Lutheran pastor is discovered within a wall in 2012. What is unveiled is a slow massacre, a nearly forgotten chain of events that goes back to 217 Blackfeet dead in the snow, told in transcribed interviews with Goodstab, who shares the narrative of his peculiar and unnaturally long life over the series of confessional visits. This is an American Indian revenge story captured in one of the vivid voices of our time by one of the new masters of literary horror, Stephen Graham Jones. It is so good so far. So we have so far had 3 perspectives. We open in 2012 with the great-granddaughter, the greatest, she said at one point, granddaughter of Arthur Bucharn, who is the pastor in question. And it is not long after his diaries and journals are found in a wall by a day worker, as I think they were demolishing something. And she is like getting them all transcribed from this like historical literary society. And she, I think, is trying to use it to get a tenure at her current college that she works at, because they want her to have published something. So I think she wants to use these to publish. But other than that, we haven't gotten back to her. We are pretty much just following Arthur Bucharn as he, like, in his diaries. And his diaries open with them, like, finding, like, a skinned body. And then he's talking about this Indian, his words, not mine, obviously, a Native American man who has been coming to his last 2 Sunday, like, masses, sessions. I don't know what it's called when they're Lutheran. And at the end of the first mass, the guy is, like, gone. He's out of there before the pastor can, like, try to talk to him. And then the second time is when Goodstab is like, I'm kind of like, you guys do confessionals, right? And he was like, well, this is like a Lutheran church, so we don't actually have like a confessional booth, but you can tell me whatever. And so he's just kind of telling him his life story. I've gotten through 2 parts of it so far. It's really good. I will say I hate the pastor's perspective. Not like I hate this writing or reading it. Like, I hate the man. It is obviously very reflective of it being 1912. And so the way he is talking about Goodstab, like, in his mind, or one, just, like, referring to Native Americans as peoples who are not long for this world and are soon to be extinct, is absolutely disgusting, and it pisses me off. And then, like, Goodstab, like, does, one, he's, like, shocked when he can speak to him. And when he does math, he, like, refers to it as savage maths. So, like, all of that is obviously just annoying, but is obviously very prevalent of the time. So the first kind of session that you have with Goodstab is obviously what we are assuming helped him get his unnaturally long life. It's not, they're not calling it vampires, but it, like, that's all just like Goodstab trying to figure out what he's become and who he is. It is so good so far. The writing, unshockingly, is amazing. I am following along in the audiobook like I do with every single Stephen Graham Jones book, because he's going to read the acknowledgments to me, and they're going to be also some of the best writing I've ever read, because he just be like that. I will say one of the narrators is Shane Ghostkeeper, who is also one of the narrators in the Never Whistle at Night anthology collection, and he just has such a soothing voice. So yesterday, when I couldn't nap, but, like, this man was talking to me, I was like, I wish I could sleep right now. I am going to stop yapping, though, because I only have a couple hours before I have to go back to work for the first time. I'm not prepared. My body still hurts so bad. It's going to be rough. This is, every time after I have COVID, I'm like, God damn, I wish I had a desk job. But I do want to just read as much of this as possible, because obviously I am now behind if I want to read 30 books in 30 days, which I still don't think I'm capable of, but I would like to try. And I need to eat some lunch. But I'll probably update you tomorrow on how this is going. It's so good so far. I have the hiccups, so bear with me, but a girl can only wait so long to update, you know what I'm saying? I did just have a spoonful of sugar, so hopefully that will help, even though I hated it. I only worked for like an hour. It was so dead, which is like great for me and my body being sore, but unfortunate for my bank account. I only read about a little less than 70 pages, I think, if that's correct math. If it's not, leave me alone. I'm dying. I'm on page 188 now. I will say I'm listening to the audio slower than I usually would, just because of kind of like all the old-timey speak. I don't read a lot of historical, which is also like, I think it took me like a good like 30 to 50 pages to really fully feel like I was getting into the story because of that as well. When I was reading earlier, kind of just like jokingly thinking to myself, I think this man became a pastor just for all of like the baked goods that the wives of the congregation bring him, because he's always writing about it in his little diary. And then I also love, because I don't like him as a man, referring it to his little diary. I feel like that emasculates him. But I was thinking about it on my drive home, and I was like, I actually think it's kind of like a smart, fun parallel on Mr. Stephen Graham Jones' part, because our guy Goodstab, now in his new form, we'll say, when he feeds, he cannot stop until the supply is gone. No matter how long in his uncannily long life, like he is unable to stop, even if at the end it makes him so lethargic because he's so full. And this guy, our pastor, in every one of his things is talking about what baked goods whatever woman brought him this week, and he's going to make them last until next sermon, and then he'll have eaten all of them by the time, like just like gluttonously eaten all of them by the time he's done with that day's entry, which I think is so kind of interesting. Like, just I guess a fun little parallel. Him, like, because gluttony's a sin, him sinning in that way, and Goodstab being the way he is, he feels like because he committed like a sin of his people. So I just thought that was interesting in my head, and I wanted to share. Alexis she just posted in our little Discord that she is running sprints on her channel, so I'm gonna go join those and see how much more of this I can read today. And then I do have just like a 70-page poetry book on myself that I think I'll read to get back on track for 30 books in 30 days. We'll see. Okay. I also meant to say, and I forgot, other than just to get snacks and goodness, I think there's going to be a very interesting reason why our pastor like chose to become a pastor. I think there is something he's trying to like absolve himself from that I think is maybe going to interestingly come back into the story, and I'm very excited to see what that was. I just meant to say that in the last clip and I forgot. Okay, back to reading. Okay, last update of the night. I swear, I'm just really eating this up, so I gotta keep chatting with you. Mostly, I just realized, and I don't know how it took me this long to realize, when we're in Goodstab's sections, he'll say something like, I got hit with a bullet, like, right here, or I did, like, some motion, and he says like this, but there's no other narration, because literally his sections are, like, the epitome of oral storytelling, which I love. Chef's kiss, so good. It's getting really good. I'm piecing together some stuff. There's obviously a lot of good conversations happening. This one section was, you can't stop a country from happening, Goodstab, but we were already a nation, and we didn't ask you to come. We just wanted to live. I understand. You wanted to make us cry, and so you did. You wanted our land, and so you took it. You wanted us out of the way, and so you killed us in our lodges. Is there more to it than that? That whole section, I was like sobbing the entire time. I've cried more than once while reading this. It's so good. I kind of don't want it to be over. I know I'm gonna probably reread this so many times. I am so truly just obsessed with this book. It's so good. Okay, I want to keep this short because I have a lot of long clips in this vlog. I wanted to finish this section, but there's over like an hour left in the narration of just like this chapter, and it's 10:40 and I am still sick. I need to go to bed, so I'll maybe listen to a little bit more as I wait for my NyQuil to kick in, but I do need to rest, and I'm gonna finish this first thing in the morning, and I will update you then, and then we will close out what is very likely a very, very long vlog. I know I said I wasn't gonna update until I'm done, but I finished part 1, and I just want to yap a little before I jump into part 2, which I think is going to be our time jump back to the future.
Back to the future!
1, I've been thinking about this since last night. I find it really interesting that Goodstab's voice has always come to us technically through the pastor's writing. Like, we should just be assuming that the pastor is writing everything that he said as it was. But I do find it interesting that, like, the white man has given voice to the Native American. And I'm wondering how that, again, is going to play into our time jump.
Where? Back to the future!
And so I'm also wondering how our main character in 2012, her name is Etsy, the great-great-granddaughter. I don't know if it's 3 or 4 greats, whatever. If she is going to have, like, honesty in talking about what happened, or if she is gonna, again, like, kind of like the erasure of history or the lessening of brutal acts done by white people in history. I wonder if she's gonna play a part in that, and I'm just really intrigued to see where it's gonna go. Oh my god, the ending of what I just read. Oh my god, I was so mad I had to put it down last night, but I needed to sleep. I wonder if Good Stab is going to come back in any way in 2012, like any more parts of his writing or anything that's found, or obviously of our pastor's writing, because, again, we're not actually ever hearing from Good Stab himself, which is quite interesting. But that was all. I just wanted to muse a little before I jump into the last 60 pages of this book, so I will see you all in just a quick few seconds to tell you what my rating is. I finished. It's 5 stars. Oh my god. I was not expecting the ending that I got at all, but it was incredible. Oh my god. Yes. Once again, Stephen Graham Jones and his acknowledgments made me cry. And then also very interesting, at the end of the book is a bunch of historical documents from a bunch of, like, society and historical places in Montana that are all correspondence that happened around the time of the Marianas massacre. So, oh my god. Wow. So good. Also, Stephen Graham Jones' little thing before all of these records. I love him. This man can do no wrong. I knew I wanted to have an Indian who couldn't die coming for the people who shot us in our lodges on January 23rd, 1870. But I didn't have a name for him. You'll see that name here, right where I found it. More importantly, I only knew the basic facts of that day. Not that Heavy Runner was in the river, not how many horses the soldiers stole, not the sound of an axe splitting a skull. I dare you to read this and not want to let a whole horde of sharp-toothed monsters loose on America. It wouldn't be enough, but it would be a start. Until then, I'll make do with Good Stab. He is the one who will be sitting in the pew after the service is over. And with that, I'm closing out this vlog. Thank you all for coming with me on my fever-induced COVID trip of a time. I read quite a bit, actually. So, I had quite a successful COVID, I would say, myself. But, thank you all so much for joining me. And I will see you soon with another vlog. Okay, bye!